Hi, and good evening to all of you present. Welcome to yet another session of spoken English communication development and personality development with me, Parmita Dhar, streaming live from Kolkata on the Facebook page and YouTube channel of SKD University, Hanumangarh. Uh, as you can see, I'm going to deal with a very important part, important area of personality development today. I'll just wait for a few more minutes, a few more seconds to be precise, for people to join me live on this show. I have Saroj Devi, Sarika Parikh. Sarika, hello. Sarika has already joined. Dr. Archana Tanwar, good evening. Vinod ji, good evening, Vinod ji. Good evening, Sarika. Thank you so much for being so prompt and just joining at. It's not yet 5. Dolly, hi. Dolly, how are you? Paraf Kaur, kaise ho Paraf? How are you? Uh, Anita has also joined in. Parav Dev Kaur. Okay, Parav. I'm good, Dolly. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have Deepman. I think her name is Muskan, if I'm not wrong. Deepak Karor joining in. So this week we actually got 2 days break because of Janmashtami yesterday. I hope you had a good Janmashtami yesterday. Sushil is saying, yes, Anita, I know. You are Anita. सुशील कुमार के लॉगिन आईडी से अनीता लॉगिन करती है, मुझे याद है. चलिए, तो आज शुरू करते हैं कुछ ऐसा जो कि शायद आप लोगों के लिए, यस मुस्कान, आई रिमेम्बर सी, शायद आप लोगों के लिए थोड़ा सा नया है, लेकिन ये मेरे आईटी हेल्प जो मेरे साथ है, मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि ये जो नाम दिख रहा है ना, परमिता धर कम्युनिकेशन एंड सॉफ्ट स्किल्स ट्रेनर, इसको ज़रा आप हटा दे तो अच्छा होगा, बिकॉज इट टेक्स एक्चुअली इट कवर्स मोस्ट ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ द स्क्रीन. ये स्क्रीन ऑलमोस्ट हाफ कवर कर देती है, तो इसको आप थोड़ा एक आध बार हटा दे तो अच्छा रहेगा. तो आज जो विषय पे हम लोग बात करने जा रहे हैं, आज जिस टॉपिक पे वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक, इट इज़ अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक बिकॉज इट डील्स विथ आवर इमोशंस. You must be aware of the term called emotional quotient. Good evening, Kavita. Good evening, Simu and Gagandeep. Good evening, Priyanka. It is called emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. Now, what do we mean by emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is something which tells us to have a control over our emotion, over our reactions, which tells us to have a control over our reactions. Sometimes we get absolutely angry. Sometimes we get so worried that we lose our practical sense, our rationality. Sometimes we're so happy that we promise things which we cannot fulfill, right? And all these things happen because we have no control over our emotion. Having a control over our emotion is very, very important. Am I clear to all of you? Right? So, emotional intelligence, which is otherwise known as emotional quotient, is the ability to understand, use, and Poonam Verma, good evening, Anita, good evening, and manage our emotions in a way which is effective. Ruchika, hi. Okay, so Dolly Yadav is writing that what a teacher writes on the blackboard of life can never be erased. Oh, what a beautiful line, Dolly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Simu and Gagandeep, yes, ma'am. They're saying responding. Okay. So, so what does emotional intelligence actually tells us, right? I am going to share a presentation with you today. Is it showing? Just tell me once. It will take some time to start. That is the problem. I do not know. Every day this happens. Yeah. राम राम मैम, हाँ राम 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 राम. तो चलो, it is showing ना, it is showing I believe. एक बार मुझे रिस्पॉन्ड कर दो आप लोग. Yes, ma'am, it is showing. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you. So, emotional intelligence. Before we start emotional intelligence, let us understand what are the various types of emotions that we come across. What are the various types of emotion that we have in our life? Sometimes कल मैंने क्लास नहीं लगाई. अच्छा, अनीता क्या लिख रही है? अनीता लिख रही है, मैम कल आपने क्लास नहीं लगाई. नहीं बेटा, मैं क्लास लगाने वाली थी. आई वॉज रेडी टू टेक द क्लास, बट देन yesterday it was a holiday for जन्माष्टमी. तो सो देयर वाज़न्ट एनी क्लास. कभी-कभी कॉलेज में छुट्टी भी तो होती है. तुम लोग भी ना रोज. हाँ? So now what are the different types of emotions we experience in our life? Can you tell me what are the different types of emotions we experience in our life? Huh? We experience happiness, isn't it? We experience happiness. We experience sadness. We experience anger. We experience grief. Sadness and grief, similar but different. Yes, yes. We experience tension. We experience tension. We experience relief. एग्जाम्स का रिजल्ट आने वाला है, उससे पहले we experience a lot of tension. Once the results are out and we get a proper result as expected, we feel relieved. We experience relief. We feel aggressive. We feel aggressive. बहुत गुस्सा आता है, right? We feel timid. We feel timid. Timid का मतलब I do not know what is the Hindi of timid, right? We feel timid. What else do we feel? What else do we feel? Tell me. What else do we feel? What else do right? Mamta Bambu BLS BLIS. Okay, very good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Right? So these are the various types of emotions that we feel in our life. That we feel in our life. And in the process, we actually mm, think that these are all parts of life which we think in the correct way, right? Can you imagine what are the various types of emotions you have experienced in the last 24 hours? कल पूजा था किसी किसी के घर में, तो कल yes, yes, blessed, we also feel blessed. महसूस करना, absolutely सिम्यू एंड गगनदीप, कुछ चीजों को महसूस करना. तो कल से लेके आज तक 24 घंटे में हम लोगों ने क्या क्या इमोशन फील किया है? रविंदर, हेलो, गुड टू सी यू माय डियर. राइट? कभी आप लोगों को अच्छा लगा, कभी आप बहुत खुश हुए जब पूजा हुआ, कभी जब पूजा हो रही थी आप लोगों को लगा कि शायद कान्हा जी अभी सारे जो प्रॉब्लम्स है उनको डील कर देंगे, राइट? ऑल्सो द इमोशन ऑफ फीलिंग taken care of, the emotion of feeling taken care of, right? So there are various types of emotions, various types of emotion. Now, compare situations in which you react to those in which you respond. Now, this is important. What triggers your emotional reactions? What triggers your emotional reactions? I'll just stop sharing this and I'll come back to you because I need to tell you certain things. Now, what is emotional intelligence? It is the ability to understand, it is the ability to use, it is the ability to manage one's emotion in a positive way. That is emotional intelligence. Sometimes, and most of the times, many times, we cannot do it in a positive way. That is where we face a problem with our emotional quotient, with our emotional balance, right? Emotional intelligence helps us to build relationship, to continue a relationship. Namaste, ma'am. Ji, Sadhvi, Rihasa, Shivani, Sadhvi, Dr. Archana Tanwar. Yes, words are also at times very important triggers of emotions. Right, I agree with you. And I believe that is the answer you are giving. What triggers our emotions, right? If we can manage those emotions, we can be successful in our everyday life. For example, एग्जाम्स के पहले का जो टेंशन है उसको अगर हम लोग मैनेज कर सकते हैं तो एग्जाम में जाके वी कैन एक्चुअली डू वेल इन द एग्जामिनेशन. यस और नो? Right? So it helps us to connect to our feelings, turn intention into action, and make informed decision about what matters. Say, for example, yesterday I was taking a session with some people and I gave them a topic to write. I was doing a writing exercise, so I gave them a topic to write. Sorry, that a dream which keeps me awake. A dream which keeps me awake. हम लोग सारे लोग सपने देखते हैं, कुछ करने की ख्वाहिश रखते हैं और उसके बाद सो जाते हैं. So dealing with that emotion, the emotion of aiming high, the emotion of being successful in life, right? How to nurture that, how to strategize that, that is emotion. And as I have just shown, on which I believe Dr. Tanwar is responding to me, I'm so happy that she is doing it, thank you so much, is that what triggers our emotion? क्या क्या चीज है जो हमारे इमोशंस को ट्रिगर करते हैं पॉजिटिवली एंड नेगेटिवली? people, places, times, words, what? कभी कभी ये होता है, I have shared it, it will take some time to come. कभी कभी ये होता है कि there are some people who irritates us. There are some people who irritates us. Yes or no? देख के लगता है कि अभी ये ऐसा सवाल पूछेंगे जिससे मेरा मूड एकदम ऑफ हो जाएगा. At the same time, there are some people who inspires us. Yes, all the things. Absolutely, Dr. Tanwar. Right? At the same time, there are people who inspires us. Maybe your parents, maybe your teachers, maybe someone who is whom we do not know personally, but has done something which is very, very inspiring. Say, for example, PV Sindhu, right? So it is so important for us to remember that what triggers positively and negatively. Places. If you go to our college, do you feel, or to your school, do you feel motivated? Do you feel motivated? I feel very motivated when I used to go to my school, when I used to go to my college, my university, and then the places of my work. It was more motivating to me than sitting in my own room and taking a session. So it used to trigger an emotion. But at the same time, God forbid, nobody should ever visit. But if we have to go to a place like a hospital, do you not feel very awkward? Awkward times. Sometimes, we have in the entire 24 hours of our day, we have certain times where we feel very motivated. Say, for example, for me, early in the morning, I feel very fresh and motivated, and I feel good to do work. That's how my body clock is set up. So early morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, when I get up, not that I can just get up and start doing a lot of work, but I feel fresh. There are some people who can work very late at night. I don't want to work late at night, because if I do it, the next morning becomes very difficult for me. So I prefer to go to sleep at a proper time and get up early. So there are times. Sometimes, now that we are working from home, this afternoon time, I feel very lethargic, very down, very negative. Words. There are people whose spoken words are very inspiring. I think you can relate to what I am saying. जिनका बात करने का तरीका, the type. Yes, every time our emotion changes. Absolutely, absolutely. Right. Varun Chawla, welcome to the session. Lakhivinder, welcome, my dear. So, words. There are some people who, even if they say positive things, you don't feel very positive. And there are some words, if there are some people, when they speak, you feel very motivated. You feel extremely motivated. So, what triggers our reactions? When we are emotionally balanced, we do not give reactions, we do respond. Okay. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is self awareness and developing a positive sense of self worth. Problem solving, emotional management, impulse control, decision making, relationship building, empathy, social skills, taking responsibility for one's action. And I will start from the last one, that is taking responsibility for one's action. एग्जाम देने गए, एग्जाम में कुछ नहीं आया, मार्क्स भी उतना ही खराब आया. What is your reaction to that marks? कि नेक्स्ट टाइम अच्छा करेंगे, टीचर ने मुझे मार्क्स नहीं दिया, क्वेश्चन आउट ऑफ सिलेबस था. What is your reaction? Or it is a learning step. Whatever I have done, it is the result of that. So next time I have to be more careful, more categorical, more what would I say, focused on my exam and on my studies. Which one do you say? Tell me. So whatever has happened in our life, or whatever is happening in our life, when we do not blame others, yes, when we do not blame others and we take the responsibility, that is uh, that is a sign that we are an emotionally balanced person. Relationship building, empathy, and social skills. I will certainly try to do a session on social skills. But what are social skills? I'm so happy that people who joins me every day in this session, there are people like Dr. Tanwar and all who are matured people, but the young kids like you all, like Dolly and Simu and Gagandeep and Priyanka and Kavita, I feel that you people are very, very socially skilled. the way you behave with me, the way you interact with me, I feel very happy to see this. Though I do not have a scope in this platform to talk to you directly, but from your comments, from your interest, from your way of asking questions, gives me, hi Himanshi, gives me a feel that you are a social skilled person. Whosoever is a socially skilled person is an emotionally intelligent person, because they know in a particular situation what type of emotional intelligence or emotional expression is required. गगनदीप, मैं बहुत अच्छी हूँ गगनदीप, हेलो, आप कैसे हो? रिया डोडा, या, right? So that is what, if we are irritated inside, we cannot be good to others, we cannot respond well with others, right? So that is important. Empathy is understanding somebody's situation from his or her point of view. That is empathy. Emotional management, impulse control. एक एग्जांपल देती हूं मैं, एक बहुत ही खराब एग्जाम्पल है, लेकिन इससे अच्छा एग्जाम्पल ना कभी मैं, मतलब मुझे मुझे आता नहीं है, इसलिए मैं वही एग्जाम्पल आप लोगों को दूंगी। आप लोग कभी शादी के घर में जाते हैं और वहां पे कितना अच्छा अच्छा खाना मिलता है, सबको अच्छा लगता है वो खाना, है ना? मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है। तो वहां पे एकदम पूरा खाने का बुफे लगाया हुआ है, there's a buffet which is being served, and you take a plate, you take the food that you like to eat, you go and you take a fresh helping, so on, and that's how, it doesn't matter Himanshi, that's how we eat. But you will find in that shadi ka ghar, people eating with you, putting everything in the plate, everything, and wasting half of it. Itna sara le liya. That is a problem where the impulse is not being able to be controlled. Am I giving you a right example? Are you being able to relate to that example? क्या आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है? Yes या no? जल्दी से लिख दो मुझे. Right? So what happens in the process? They're wasting so much of food. Right? Anita, yes, Dr. Tanwar, right? And that is where you are not being able to कंट्रोल योर इम्पल्स. लग रहा है कि सारा कुछ खाएंगे, ये खाएंगे, वो खाएंगे, वो खाएंगे, अच्छा ले लेते हैं, फिर से आना होगा, राइट? बट इन द प्रोसेस हम लोग उतना नहीं खा पाते, तो वो उसको वेस्ट करते हैं, विच इज अ क्राइम, इन अ कंट्री, इन अ वर्ल्ड वेयर सो मेनी पीपल आर डाइंग आउट ऑफ हंगर एंड पॉवर्टी. वेस्टिंग फूड इज अ क्राइम, isn't it? So that is impulse. That is impulse. There are people जो दिन रात ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग करते हैं, ये खरीद लिया, वो खरीद लिया, वो खरीद लिया, और उसके बाद क्रेडिट कार्ड का बिल देख के हार्ट अटैक आ जाता है. दैट इज अ लैक ऑफ कंट्रोल ओवर इम्पल्स. शॉपिंग करना किसको नहीं अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन buy things that you need. One or two you can buy, that is a kind of a impulse buying, but everything if you do out of impulse. इतना गुस्सा आया कि अगले को एक थप्पड़ मार दिया. No, have control on your emotion. Wait, don't get physical, don't get aggressive, right? Decision making, we can never take the right decision out of emotions. So it is said, never promise anything when you are too happy. बहुत हैप्पी हो, 99% मार्क्स आया है एसकेडी यूनिवर्सिटी के ग्रेजुएशन के एग्जाम में, एंड यू प्रॉमिस समथिंग. मनीषा, गुड इवनिंग. नो, नेवर डू इट. let it set down, let it settle down. वो जो इंस्टेंट इमोशनल आउटबर्स्ट है, उसको थोड़ा सा सेटल होने दो. जैसे कि अगर आप एक ग्लास में कोल्ड ड्रिंक डालोगे, थम्स अप डालोगे, हाँ, तो अगर आप डालते ही जाओगे तो क्या होगा? आधे से ज्यादा वेस्ट हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ द बबल्स, isn't it? So you have to wait, let it settle down, and then you pour. Then you can have the entire glass of thumbs up or Coke or Pepsi or whatever. लेकिन अगर इम्पल्स में नहीं नहीं जल्दी जल्दी ले लेते, सिमू इज थिंकिंग कि मैं जल्दी ले लेती हूँ, नहीं तो गगनदीप आ जाएगा मेरे से ले लेगा, तो इन द प्रोसेस पूरा वेस्ट हो जाएगा, है ना सिमू? सो दैट इज वेयर वी हैव टू कंट्रोल आवर इम्पल्स. डिसीजन मेकिंग इज ऑल्सो लाइक दैट. उसको थोड़ा सा सेटल होने दो, एंड देन यू सी हाउ मच मोर यू वांट. Then you see how much more you want. Right? Problem solving. Problem solving. Pandemic may, there have been a lot of problems we have faced at your tender age. You might have not seen so much of problem in your entire life so far. In your entire life so far that you have seen in this 1.5 years of pandemic. Right? माथा गरम करके, टेंशन करके, ये करके, वो करके सॉल्व नहीं हो सकता. यू हैव टू सेटल डाउन, इफ नेसेसरी टेक अ नैप एंड देन think of the problem. That is where emotional intelligence comes, right? So what is this? Oh, really spelling is wrong. Gagandi. Real. Real. Real se really. Self-awareness and developing a positive sense of self-worth. Right? What is self-awareness? What I can do. Understanding my SWOT. Understanding my SWOT. What is SWOT? My strengths and weaknesses. SWOT. S for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunities, T for threats. Right? So SWOT. This is very, very important. This is very important. Right? Okay, Himanshi, thank you. So, what are my strengths? I am not good in so many things. हम लोग को लगता है ना मेरे से तो ये भी नहीं हो रहा है, मेरे से तो वो भी नहीं हो रहा है, मेरे से तो वो भी नहीं हो रहा है. But then what am I good at? What am I good at? I am not good at so many things, that I know. But then I also, in order to have that self-worth, self-esteem, I need to know what am I good at. Am I being clear to all of you? So the moment we realize that we are good in certain things, somebody is good in drawing, somebody is good in mathematics, somebody is good in English, somebody is good in something else, cooking, gardening, we get a worth for ourselves, right? So that is what emotional intelligence helps us to identify. Okay. So, what is the connection? At risk youth, low emotional intelligence, unsuccessful in school, disengaged, disconnected from teachers and peers. Peers means your class, group, all that. Poorly developed sense of identity, struggle with relationship, negative attitude, and inexpressive. We will not consider that. Rather, we will consider things which are what? Which are uh, which helps us positively, right? Now, emotional intelligence is actually, if we try to uh, divide it will be divided into 4 attributes. One is self-management, one is self-awareness, one is social awareness, and the other one is relationship management, right? We actually typically deal with our emotions in one of these 4 ways. What? Exaggerating the emotions so that we are overwhelmed by them and lose control. Accepting the emotions and not try to regain control. Substituting the emotion with something more comfortable like distractions, or managing the emotion through self-awareness. कोई भी situation हो, this is actually how we try to do. Number one, we We exaggerate का हिंदी क्या है? What is the exaggeration हिंदी of exaggeration? इतना बढ़ाते हैं, इतना उसको फैला देते हैं कि हम लोग उसको कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते हैं. And then all the problem starts. Right? Say for example, I give an example. हम लोग इतना फ्रेंड्स के साथ इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं, रोज पार्टी, रोज व्हाट्सएप कॉल, रोज व्हाट्सएप वीडियो सेशंस, कि हम लोग पढ़ाई नहीं कर पाते हैं. And as a result, we lose control on our academics, which results in less marks. मैं हर समय यही एग्जाम्पल क्यों देती हूँ, लेकिन यही एग्जाम्पल मेरे दिमाग में सबसे पहले आ जाता है. So we do not have the control, and we lose the control. Second is accepting the emotion, accepting it and letting it be like that. कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश ही नहीं करते हैं, which is very difficult to do. Substituting the emotion with something more comfortable. Right? I'm not being able to say justice to mathematics in my graduation. So I look for an alternative where I will be able to score more marks, which doesn't require mathematical ability, because end of the day it is going to be average. So finding out something, an alternative, which will be of less distraction to us, right? Managing the emotion through self-awareness. Self-awareness is very important. मुझे क्या आता है, क्या नहीं आता है. Recognizing my own emotion and how they affect my thought, how they affect my behavior, right? Understanding and identifying my own emotions, my own SWOT, strengths and weaknesses, and trying to adapt to it, trying to adjust to it, right? And what do we mean by social awareness? Understanding the emotions, the cues, the feelings of the other people. We have to keep one thing in mind, that we are social animals. मैं अकेली अपने घर में बंद दरवाजे में नहीं रह सकती हूँ. क्या आप लोग रह सकते हैं? अतिशयोक्ति. Yes, Dolly and Himanshi, thank you. That is exaggeration, right? Yeah. So we cannot stay like that. Can we? Can we? No, we cannot. Right? So in this way, we have to take care of our social skills, social awareness skills, right? And when we have a control about our self-management, we are self-managed, we are aware of our society, we will be able to build better relationship. We will be able to build better relationship. 7 basic emotions. मैंने आपको एकदम पहले ही पूछा था कि what are the different types of emotions. So these are the 7. There could be many underlying emotions which we have not written here. Number 1 is anger. Number 2 is happiness. Number 3 is fear. Number 4 is disgust. Number 5 is surprise. Number 6 is love. And number 7 is sadness. Now, do you have a question in your mind that why ma'am is doing this today in the session? Why are we trying to discuss and learn a little bit about emotional intelligence? क्यों? ऐसा कोई question है आपके दिमाग में? नहीं, मैं Absolutely not. Why not? मैं अगर आपके जगह पे होती तो मैं जरूर पूछती, मैम इससे क्या फायदा होगा. देखिए, आपका जो ये सेशन है वो है स्पोकन इंग्लिश और पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट। पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए ये बहुत बेसिक चीज़ है कि अगर हमें हमारे एंगर पे, हमारे फ़ियर पे, हमारे डिस्गस्ट पे इफ़ वी डू नॉट हैव कंट्रोल, इफ़ यू डू नॉट नो हाउ टू यूटिलाइज़ इट, इट्स नॉट अबाउट कंट्रोल ऑल द टाइम। ऐसा नहीं कि इसका सारा रिमोट कंट्रोल में हाथ में लेके बैठे रहो। इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट। बट ओवरऑल अंडरस्टैंडिंग अगर नहीं है, तो वी विल रिएक्ट इन अ वी विल रिएक्ट not in the right way, in the right place, right? So that is why for personality development, understanding our own emotions and the emotions of the people we deal with is very, very important. Okay, get it clarified, my dear boys and girls. आप लोग questions पूछिए. Oh, yes, yes, Dolly, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, the first very basic emotion is anger, right? And when we get angry, what are our reactions? When we get angry, what are our reactions? Right? Some people shout, some people yell, चिल्लाते हैं, right? Some people become aggressive, some people becomes quiet. Sorry, some people become quiet. एकदम चुप हो जाते हैं. Some people physically hits the other person, मार देते इसको उसको. है कि नहीं? Right? And these are all outcomes or reactions of anger. Yeah. Then what are the reactions of happiness? Can anybody please tell me one or two reaction of happiness? My dear boys and girls, reaction of happiness, Gagandeep, Himanshi, Simu, Jolly, Kavita, Anita, सारे लोग, Muskan. What are the reactions of happiness? How do you feel when, how do you respond when you are very happy? You clap. Wow, what has happened? Like this. You clap. You call up people. You shout. Right? You laugh. You dance. Yes, you dance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Sometimes people even cry in happiness. Sing songs. Acha. Sometimes people even cry in happiness. है ना? इतना अच्छा रिजल्ट आया आपका कि आपकी मम्मी की आंखों में आंसू आ गए. Jumping, absolutely. Clap, absolutely. Wash hands. You wash hands when you're happy. What kind of a reaction or response is there? Fear, fear, fear. What do we do when we have a sense of fear? What do we do when we have a sense of fear? Can you tell me? Can you please tell me? जब डर लगता है हम लोग क्या करते हैं? वी वी एक्चुअली, लेट मी स्टॉप दिस वंस, वी एक्चुअली डू दिस, है ना? ओ माय गॉड, क्या होगा, क्या होगा? वी प्रे टू गॉड. यस, यस, वी प्रे टू गॉड. दैट्स वेरी गुड. आई मीन वेरी वेरी कैंडिड. हे भगवान मुझे बचा लो. ये तो हम लोग हर समय बोलते हैं. वी ऑलवेज से सो. हे भगवान मुझे बचा लो. व्हाट एल्स वी डू? हम लोग एक काम करते हैं, पता है, चादर से अपने आप को ओढ़ लेते हैं, है ना? रात को सोने गए, डर लग रहा है कि भूत आ जाएगा, तो हम लोग ऐसे अपने आप को चादर से ओढ़ लेते हैं, ताकि हमें कुछ ना दिखाई दे। If I cannot see the fear can see me. We shiver, कांपते भी है ना डर से कांपते भी है, don't we? Yes, Muskan, Anita, right. So, so all these are our reactions of fear, disgust. What is the Hindi of disgust? Disgust in Hindi, irritated रहना है ना, something like that. Irritated हो जाना. I do not know what is the disgust. It's very disgusting. We all say ना, मतलब बहुत खराब लगना. What is the Hindi? Tell me. Or else I have to find out in Google. That I generally do. वार्तालाप, क्या वार्तालाप, किससे वार्तालाप आप करोगे बेटा जी? With whom you will do vartalap? Disgust is a sense of dissatisfaction, right? Disgust is a sense of dissatisfaction, right? और जब वो होता है तब क्या होता है? कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं सिमू एंड गगनदीप. और जब वो होता है we feel very irritated, we feel not very happy, right? Surprise, emotion of surprise, irritate, right? Emotion of surprise. When do we feel the emotion of surprise? Surprise is always a very positive emotion. We always feel positive when we are surprised. बर्थडे में किसी ने अगर केक भेज दिया without informing, don't you feel good about it? Don't you feel good about it? Yes? Tell me. Tell me. Hello? You speaking? Sorry? Madam, I am in a class. Can you please call me at 6 o'clock, or I can call you in this number? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Surprise, surprise is something which is absolutely positive in nature. Surprise is something which is absolutely positive in nature, isn't it? Are you not audible? Are you not audible? I'm sorry, am I not audible? Huh. So, surprise. Then the emotion of love. How do you feel when your friends, when your parents, when your relatives, when your teachers love you? They say they appreciate you. And how do we express our love? How do we express our love? We express our love with, okay, thank you, Simu. We express our love with appreciation. With appreciation, isn't it? By surprising. We love to give surprises to people whom we love. Yes or no? Yes or no? So these things are very important emotions that we experience in our life. Very, very important emotions that we experience in our life. Right? The next one, my dear boys and girls, is sadness. सैडनेस तो हम लोगों के लाइफ में कभी कभी आता ही है. Life is not a bed of roses that we will always have surprises and love and affection and appreciation. We also come across sadness. Sadness बहुत तरीके से होता है. When we miss someone, we feel sad. When we miss our college, when we miss our friends, when our parents scold us, we feel sad, right? Sometimes, if there is a bereavement in the family, in the society, we feel sad. We feel sad if we see someone is suffering. Maybe we do not know that person, but even then we feel sad for that person, right? So these are the 7 types of emotions. And what are those 7 types? Anger, happiness, disgust, surprise, love, and sadness, right? Now comes one very important thing, which is how to manage this. How to manage this. I'm just trying to uh, share again. Okay. It takes some time to be shared, right? By the time, the first thing, as I told you, is impulse control, controlling of our impulse. Chalo aage. Is impulse control. Impulse ka Hindi, again, let me find out. I have to find out in the Google dictionary. Aveg. Impulse is aveg. That is our emotions, right? How to control that. Stress management. Sometimes we are so stressed that we react in a different way. We react not in the right manner. We are so stressed. Stress can be positive stress can be negative stress also. When you will get a job in a different city, maybe abroad, you will be extremely happy. But there will also be a lot of stress, a stress of something new. You do not know where you are going. You are leaving your family, your parents. From the comfortable zone, you are moving to an uncomfortable zone, to a new zone, right? So that is also a stress. हाँ डॉली मुझे मुझे दिख गया वो राइट अभी right. So to manage emotion, we have to manage stress, we have to manage anger. किसी किसी को बहुत जल्दी गुस्सा आ जाता है. कोई है यहाँ पे जिसको बहुत जल्दी गुस्सा आ जाता है? Anyone who gets angry very quickly, very quick temper? When I take interviews and I ask people what is your weakness, they say that, ma'am, we have a very quick temper. I have a very quick temper. My ma'am. Okay, Dolly. So how to control that? Maybe through meditation, through physical exercise, through self counseling, through self management. We have to control that. Right? Managing sadness. Another very important thing. And there are times when we are not being able to do it on our own. We have to take expert help. That is an extreme condition. But most of the time, in such situation, our family, our friends, our college, our relatives, our parents, our siblings, our teachers, they can actually give us a lot of help, right? In managing sadness. किस बारे में कभी कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि why are we sad? We even do not know for ourselves. Right? Why are we sad? Right? So that is very important. Understanding why are we sad, if possible taking action, if not leaving it. There are certain things we cannot change. Say, for example, we cannot change this pandemic, but what we can do, we can keep inside, we can take our vaccination in proper time, we can keep washing our hands using sanitizers, and stop going to any place which has a crowd, unnecessarily stop going out, so that we can break the chain. This much we can do. Beyond that, can we do anything? We have to wait for the system to change, right? So leaving things at times. Problem solving. What is the problem? First is identifying the problem. Second is trying to find viable solution to it. See how far those solutions can be managed by one, managed by me, my people, people around me, how far that can be done, and then, if possible, solving it. And if I think that I cannot solve it, leaving it, because there are so many things we cannot actually solve. There are so many things we cannot actually solve. So, accepting the reality is a very, very important step of emotional management. Accepting the reality is a very important step of emotional management. Okay. So this was a little bit about emotional management that I wanted to share with you. Now, where does this emotional disbalance or emotional imbalance affects us? कहाँ पे इसका effect होता है? Right? Number one, it has an effect on our performance. From morning till late at night, from morning when we wake up till late at night when we go to sleep, we have a kind of a performance. टाइम पे नहा के, टाइम पे ब्रेकफास्ट करके, टाइम पे स्कूल बस पे चढ़ना, it is also a work that we have to do, and we have to run along with the clock. घड़ी के हिसाब से दौड़ दौड़ के, भाग भाग के काम करना है. Right? When we are stressed, tired, sleepy, we will never be able to do that. Right? It will have an impact on our reaching a school or college or university or workplace in time. It will have an impact on our conversation with our teachers, bosses, peers, friends, etc. तुम तो रोज लेट आते हो, भाई आज भी लेट हो तुम, which will give me stress. Right? So the performance, emotional balance has an impact on our performance. So if we are emotionally balanced, we sleep well at night, wake up happily, our performances will be better. We are less tensed, or we know how to control our tension. We all have tension. ऐसा कोई है जिसके जिंदगी में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है? सबके जिंदगी में प्रॉब्लम है. But how to take care of that is something which we call a skill, is a life skill, right? It has an impact on our physical health. If we are too happy and we are jumping all the while, our legs will ache. पैर में दर्द हो जाएगा, है कि नहीं? It has an impact on our if we are too tense all the while, we are not being able to control our stress. Our blood pressure will raise. We will have less immune system. We will have increase of blood pressure and blood sugar, right? So the insulin, there will be an imbalance in insulin in our body, so it will create a physical health problem, right? The physical health has a direct link with our mental health, and vice versa. If we are mentally calm and quiet, we can take care of a lot of things, right? Uncontrolled emotions and stress also impact our mental health, making us vulnerable to anxiety and to depression. If we're unable to understand, get comfortable with, or manage our emotions, it is then a big struggle for us. So what is Dolly writing? Dolly is writing that emotional intelligence allow us to respond instead of react. Absolutely. That is the crux of the session today. Dolly, thank you so much for understanding it so well and sharing with us. It has an impact. Emotional intelligence, imbalance in our emotion has an impact on our relationship, both personal and professional, right? So, by understanding our emotions and how to control them, we are in a better place to express how we feel and understand how others feel, right? So, that is another very important thing. Social intelligence, if I understand the society and and if I am in tune with it is always better for me. It is always better for me, right? And if I want to change the certain societal thing, then I have to be absolutely sure about it. Sure about it. Now, how do we uh, take care of our or how do we actually increase our emotional intelligence? How do we increase our emotional intelligence? Is there a way of increasing it? Is there a way of increasing it? See, some people are emotionally strong, some people are emotionally weak. That is how the personality is like. Some people बहुत जल्दी टेंशन में आ जाते हैं और some and there are people जो कोई भी टेंशन को अपने से बहुत अच्छे तरह से हैंडल कर पाते हैं. Okay, but apart from that, there is always a way to learn things. There's always a way to learn things. How? Learning to empathize. किसी के साथ अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है तो उसको समय देना है. एंड किसी में आई एम ऑल्सो इंक्लूडेड. I am also included in that, right? If something is going wrong with me, instead of jumping on it, trying to sort it out overnight, right? Quick fix it, giving time to oneself. Empathize not only with others but with us, right? Listen what other people say. And now with this YouTube and various social media, there are so many things which comes up every day, and those are very very helpful. Those are very very helpful. Listening to different kinds of things, situations, understanding, because we need experience to develop our emotional quotient. All experiences are not first hand. Sometimes we acquire from stories, movies, podcasting, newspapers, reading. We learn from there, right? So, doing that, empathizing and listening, reflect the ability to reason with my own emotion कि ऐसा मैं क्यों कर रही हूँ? Why am I doing so? What could be the other alternative? Right? Reflect upon a person's feeling, finding out what are the pitfalls, where I am going wrong, why is it happening to me? Reasonably, logically doing that, right? In this way, we can actually try to relate with the problem, find out a viable solution. I'm not saying that this is a medical prescription. No, I do not have any medical prescription because I'm not a psychologist, right? So, but human beings, humans, they grow every day. Every day we learn a new thing. Every day we experience a new thing. And that is how we also learn to rational our thinking process, our emotions, and our way of looking into a thing, right? I think whatever I have tried to explain today to all of you was was अंडरस्टैंडेबल. समझ में आया थोड़ा बहुत कुछ? चलो जल्दी जल्दी लिखो. देवीलाल वर्मा is saying well done. Okay, thanks Devilal ji. Yes ma'am. Anita. Okay. Fine. So tomorrow again, I'll be seeing you with yet another edition. Tomorrow is a new month. So we will start the new month with the hope that we have a better. We are left with only 4 months, no? September, October, November, December for 2021. So maybe we will have a better beginning tomorrow. Till then, you take care, learn a little bit of English, and again, tomorrow we will learn something new. Bye bye and take care. And thank you for being with me in this session.